What is going on, everybody? It is Frank the Tank, and welcome to week number 11 of this Friday Summer League series. And yeah, we're a week removed from that incredible 753 series that I shot last week. And that now officially is my highest sanctioned league series of all time for now, because who knows what I'll do in the future. And then the 288 in week 7, I believe is what it was, when I shot my first 700. That is my highest sanctioned score out of any league that I've ever been in. So that's really, really nice. And yeah, here we are now about to face what I would consider to be the toughest team in the league. If we were just talking about scratch bowling, because based on the total average of this team, they've got the highest total average. 3 out of their 4 players have 200 averages, while their weakest player has like a 170 something average. I can't remember, but we've definitely got to fight here if we want to maintain the lead. And that's really all there is to say, other than I got a haircut. It's a brand new month. My birthday is going to be coming up in about a week from now. I can't believe I'm going to be turning 27. Like, I don't even remember what I did this past year. And it just dawned on me. Like, I woke up one morning and I realized, holy hell, my birthday's in a couple of days. Like, already, life is just passing me by. But yeah, also, the pain in my shoulder is gone, so I feel 100% I'm back to normal, which the timing couldn't be better because I have an 8-gamer tournament coming this Sunday. I'm going to try my best to try to get you guys footage. I have to ask around to see first if it's okay or if it's prohibited. And also, if Mike Romero, the guy hosting the tournament, is cool with it, then that's good. But even if he's good with it, it's really all up to the people who are on my pair. I have to find out if they're all okay with it, because let's be honest, I mean, trying to film stuff is pretty difficult nowadays, especially when there's other people in it, because, there are people out there that don't like to be filmed. So hopefully the people that I get put with will be okay with it, and I'll be able to get you guys some more footage. Yeah, so I checked out the list for how many people are going to be at that 8-gamer, and I estimate that 60 plus people are going to be there. So there might be like 6 people to a pair. So that's going to be insane. A little nervous because I know that there are a lot of heavy hitters on that list that are going to be showing up. But seeing how I've been playing in League, it shouldn't be a problem. I think I should be able to stack up well against them. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about before we get to the update on the standings, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this. So if you follow me on Instagram, I don't know if I posted it on Facebook, because I linked my Instagram and my Facebook together. So like whatever gets posted on Instagram goes to Facebook too. But yeah, I posted this on Instagram. If you follow me, you'll know that I got my hands on this, the 3G Gold Belmo shoes. I don't know what they're called. But yeah, these things look incredible. I gotta tell you, very well done. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of my thoughts on it, basically a review. So the presentation looks fantastic. Obviously, you can't beat that. All around, brilliant. I love that little logo right there. They look great. They feel great. Very roomy. They don't feel like totally like pressed on your feet. That's for sure. They're a lot of room. Easy to put them on too. You don't have to like struggle to put them on. Because if there's one thing that I do have a problem is when I'm trying to put my foot into the shoe, this part gets in my way and I have to like, So yeah, no, these are like literally like slip-ons when I put them on. So that's really nice. The only problem that I do have, or problems, is this, the bottom. So this is what you see when you're on the bottom. Actually, this isn't the heel that comes with the shoe. This is the heel that comes with the shoe. And you're wondering, what the heck is this triangle shape? Well, I'll have you know that on the shoe, there's this little triangle shape that they put on there. And I'm sure they, one of the reasons I know for a fact that they came up with that is to prevent anybody from trying to buy heels from other companies. Like, for example, the Dexter heels, you see how they have no triangle shape? So like, if you want to buy a different sole or a heel, then they came up with this. And then obviously the shape of the sole is different. So yeah, they did that in an effort to prevent people from trying to buy heels and soles from other companies and putting them on the shoes. But yeah, when you buy a 3G shoe, you're gonna find a triangle shape in there. As you can see, mine is gone because thanks to my main man Ivan Herrera at De Silva Custom Kicks on Instagram. Thank you, Ivan. He told me that you can get it out, but it's kind of risky trying to do it actually. So what you have to do is actually remove the insole. At least this is what he told me. So you remove the insole, and in there, you see that hole? There's like a little metal ring that would be in there. And he told me get like a drill bit and a drill and like literally just drill it out and it'll pop right out. Now, for me, it was difficult to get it out. It didn't just like right out. Actually, I actually had to do the one thing that'll probably make you guys cringe, but bear with me here. I had to it all it did was when I pushed the bit through, it created just a couple of holes and the thing didn't pop right off. So I resorted to trying to pry it out with the screwdriver, and that caused me great concern. It made me cringe because I was worried that I was totally going to rip the shoe apart trying to get that triangle out, but I got it out, no problem. You can see actually what's left of it in there. It was like it was super glued in there, but like I can even hear it when it was tearing out. Like it's like the sound of Velcro coming off, you know? And yeah, I got it out, and now because of that, I'm able to put Dexter heels on it. But the problem was that see this heel right here, this is an H1 Dexter heel. It's the one that gives you the most braking. And sorry about that, I'm out of focus here. I'm gonna try to get it back in focus. So I took these 3G gold shoes to week 11 of league, and I tried them out for the first game, and I knew for a fact that there was going to be a lot of slide on these things, and that is why I tried to put one of these on the bottom of it. And again, this is what appears on the shoe when you buy it. It's the standard heel and the standard. This is a standard sole as well. I didn't switch that out. This is the one that is still the default one that's still on the shoe. I tried them out, and even with that H1 heel, which again allows you to brake the most, so that you stop a lot quicker. Even with that thing on, I tested these things out and I was still sliding a ton. It was like I was on ice skates in an ice rink. And yeah, I knew I was going to have a big problem with that. And I had to I knew for some reason that something was gonna happen, and so I brought an extra pair of shoes. So yeah, I brought an extra pair of Dexters just in case I didn't, you know, I couldn't deal with the slide on this thing, or if it like if I came to a dead stop and it was too sticky, or if there was too much slide, I had those ready. So yeah, now here they are after week 11 as I speak to you, and I now have I don't know what this thing is called. It's called the rippled heel. So this is 3G's version of that H1 heel. So this one's going to add going to give you the most braking. So one of these days when I get back out there to practice, I'm probably going to try these on again and try this with the rippled heel and see if it helps me brake quicker than that H1 heel on this shoe. And then of course there's the standard sole in there. And yeah, this is probably the part that I didn't like. And then also, actually, I have the Dexter shoe right here. So here is my Army Camo Custom Dexters. Thank you, Ivan, for the customization again. And look at the bottom. See, so there is your standard S8 Dexter heel that is automatically on the shoe when you buy it. And then there's the H1 heel, and it works like a charm. This is a perfect combination for me because obviously, as a two-hander, I have an aggressive slide, so I need to come to a slide. I need to come to a stop quicker, and this combination does that for me. So that's why I really, really love these. And with this, even with the H1 heel applied to it, it still didn't really work after removing that triangle. But yeah, it was clear that I needed to make a change for with this, but I'm not going to do that yet because I'm going to try this out and see if it is enough. And if not, then good God. But yeah, I really kind of didn't like the shape of it. And then this, luckily, it came in a perfect size. I didn't have to trim it down like these H1 heel. Like you could see how horrible I tried to, shape it to fit on the bottom of the Dexter shoe, but yeah, I trimmed this one down to fit that one, and it didn't really work out in the end because I was still sliding a lot. But yeah, trying to, if any of you have tried to cut one of these, it is a nightmare because just like I broke a pair of scissors trying to do this, and if you've seen, if any of you have seen, a lot of people don't want to deal with this, so they just when you buy it, it doesn't come down to size, so you have to trim it. It comes out like you will see a lot of people just prop it on there without trimming it down, and you'll see part of it sticking out of the side. So I always wondered why people did that, and now I know why, because these things are a nightmare to try to cut down to size. But another thing that I didn't like are the options for heels and soles. So for the soles, I noticed that they don't necessarily come shaped like this. They come in like this square sheet or whatever, and you have to like cut it down to size yourself. Or I also have seen people like Daria Payok. I've seen her like put these circle things on the bottom, and they call them cleats. And basically, with that square sheet, you're supposed to create those little circles and put them on the bottom. I think that is preposterous. It's ridiculous, and I don't like that. But hopefully, this is enough. And that whole extra sliding that I had, that sliding issue that I had, will go away with this rippled heel on the bottom. I don't know, and hopefully it's not too sticky, if you know what I mean. Like I don't come to a dead stop and end up eating it. So we'll see. I'll be letting you guys know about that. But yeah, that is. I love the way the shoes look. They feel good, very roomy. But the problem is the bottom. That's it. Okay, now that I am finished rambling on about the 3G shoes and their comparison to the Dexters, here are the standings for after week number 10. So we're still in the lead. We're doing pretty good. We're ahead by 3 points. That team that we faced last week, their team name is Hit the Pocket. They're right behind us, and we're in some danger here, actually, even though we've got a 3-point lead on them. All they would need to do for week 11 really is they could clean sweep and probably catch us. So in order for that to prevent that from happening, we would have to gain at least a point. And I think if they clean sweeped and then if we gained a point, they would tie us or something like that. So we have to hope that that doesn't happen. And then, of course, we obviously at least want to gain 2 points if we want to prevent them from even tying. But everything is looking good. We're facing off against Team 3, who are right here in 6th. So even if they clean sweep us, they won't catch us. But that's good. But the problem is that clean sweep letting them clean sweep us will open the door for 3 men and a ghost and Hit the Pocket to catch us, and of course pin ticklers as well. Very strange name. But other than that, we're doing pretty good. So I guess all we need to do is gain a point, and I think we'll be okay. And we have to hope to God that Hit the Pocket don't clean sweep, and the same thing with 3 men and a ghost. So yeah, those are the standings for after week 10. And here we go now with week number 11. Okay, you guys, so here we go for week number 11. So if I didn't say this already, I'm going to say it now. I tried on those gold 3G shoes for game number 1 just to see how they would work. I did test them out in practice, and I was feeling a lot of doubt because like I said, there was a lot of slide, and I felt like I was going to have a lot of trouble posting a shot and keeping balance at the foul line. That shot seemed okay, but you're going to see later down the line of this game that I had a lot of trouble with these shoes because of the sole and the heel. It just didn't work out. As for the ball of choice to begin, I started with the IQ Tour Nano Pearl, I believe. And yeah, I will admit right now that I made some not so great ball choices. I mean, the UFO alert, I haven't had a lot of practice with it, but for some reason I felt like maybe I should take it with me. The Idol Pro, I will tell you this, I literally just had it punched up. So that was something that I shouldn't have done, because usually what I do is when I get a ball punched up and ready to go, I take a couple of like practice sessions to figure out if that ball will work well for me, to see how my eyes and my brain will process how that ball motion, to see when it reads, how it turns the corner. And yeah, I didn't do that. I just brought it undrilled to this night of league, got it punched up, and here I had it. And then the IQ Tour Nano Pearl, I guess you could say was probably the only good ball that I had, because I know how to use that one. I've had a lot of practice with it. I know what to do with it, but boy, this was going to make for a difficult one. All right, here we go on the left lane with the IQ Tour Nano Pearl. See right there, I kind of had a little bit too much slide there and struggled to really get that ball out on the lane. So because of that problem that I had with the slide, it was getting to my head, and it was really affecting my performance. As much as I hate to say that, I really hate sounding like I'm making like excuses and stuff, but I'll tell you, trying to slide with these shoes, man, wasn't an easy task. But there we go, back-to-back 10 pins. All right, third frame now, back on the right after a 9 spare and a 9 spare on both lanes. Still using that IQ Tour. That one was a little better. But yeah, one thing that I noticed was that these lanes were a little bit more oily than usual, because I know exactly where to line up with this IQ Tour Nano Pearl, and I stood on that spot like I usually do. I think it was board 21 and a half. No, 20 and a half. I lined up on board 20 and a half, and you saw there, I got a very light hit, and then 10 pin and 10 pin on the first and second frames. So, yeah, that's something that I learned about 7 and 8, because I'm pretty certain that this isn't the first time that I've dealt with this problem on lanes 7 and 8. So that's another thing we learned about this house. Okay, so here we go on the left lane, and already I decided on a ball change because of what I saw. 9 spare, and a light hit. I didn't even want to make adjustments. I didn't really have enough time in the 10-minute practice session to test out everything, so yeah. Just chose to do it during game 1, and I picked up the Idol Pro, and that happened, but wasn't a good shot. It went left of my target. Unfortunately, couldn't see it because this guy's arm was in the way, but yeah, again, it was really not a good move on my part to punch up a bowling ball and then use it on the same night. I mean, I know I've seen those posts on Instagram where people drill up new bowling balls and then shoot 300s or like high series with them, like fresh off the press, but that's not me. I can't do that. Yeah, I'm that type of guy that really needs like to put a couple of games on the ball to get it warmed up and to just break it in and see what I can see with this ball and how my brain and eyes can really process that ball motion fully. I need to get a couple practice sessions in. But luckily things were working out pretty well. All right, after a strike, we go on the next frame on the left, and again, see, there I go, falling off because of the slide. And there's a 10 pin for you. And I forgot to mention, I think I'm lined up on board number 21, because again, the lanes were oily, which is kind of strange because usually I line up on board 22 and a half with the Idol Pro. I remember I used this ball some time ago. I made a review on it, but it wasn't drilled to me because I didn't have my PAP at the time. So my Pro Shop guy just, he just punched the holes in there. But now this one is laid out to me. So yeah, with my 5.5 over and 3/8 up PAP, we were able to put 60 by 5.5 by 60, and now it's laid out to me, so now we'll have much better ball reaction. But yeah, these lanes were definitely oily. The fact that I had to be on 21 for both lanes, and the ball really wasn't hooking that much. It's just, wow. Okay, so because I was struggling to process what that Idol Pro was doing, again, like new ball, just punched it up, don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know what I'm looking at. I felt, okay, let's just pick up this UFO alert because I need something that's just gonna like, you know, jerk left a little bit harder, and that UFO alert I felt was the best thing to do because I have had the most practice with it compared to the Idol Pro. And as you saw, not like everything else that I had, it's just not really working out too well. And you see right there, see, it's really getting back. So I figured, okay, maybe this is the ball I should be using because it's really hitting the pins and I'm not getting any of those light hits. I'm not getting any 10 pins. So I decided UFO alert is probably the ball of choice for the rest of the game and probably for the rest of the night. You never know. Believe me when I tell you, I hate ball changing just as much as you guys do. Unfortunately, we couldn't pick up that baby split, and now my max score is getting lower and lower. Alright, so after that split, we now take this UFO alert to the left lane, lining up on 22.5. Hey, that one was not bad. That was pretty good. And it struck, so yeah, I was probably only able to post a shot properly maybe like 2 or 3 times, like that. Yeah, and I thought to myself, like, you know what? I'll just, like, finish out this game on these 3G shoes, and then I'm switching to my other shoes because I can't suffer this much longer. See that? It would, like, the thought of sliding too much and, you know, just losing my balance was really affecting my my shot execution, and I was getting the ball to the right too early. I did that quite a number of times on this night. So there I go, having to deal with the Greek church. No bounce out, so that's another open, and my max score continues to plummet. Okay, and we've made it to the 10th frame. Only just. Tell you, just couldn't post a shot, and that one went very high. I was very lucky. I saw that 7 and 10. Alright, the second shot in the 10th. We got another one. That was a much proper shot, but I'll tell you, I was already getting kind of irritated. Like I was thinking to myself that I am so done with this sliding issue. Alright, for the last shot in the 10th. Messed up my slide right there, and we leave the 3 and the 6, and I finish off with the 180. And you know what? Shout out to the homegirl Gina. She's right here on that right lane, because this shot right here, she was on the front 9, and unfortunately that happened. She left the 7, and I think she only got like 270 something. I don't know, but yeah, she made it to the front 9, and then that happened. So that was a great way to open up her first game. So it was funny because every single one of us was struggling. Like everyone on her team, and then myself, we were leaving. You guys could see, obviously, I was making bad shots though. But the rest of her team, they were hitting their mark. They were hitting the pocket, and they were leaving 7s, 10s. Nothing was working. Meanwhile, here she was, putting forward roll on that ball, and she got the front 9. So shout out to her for her performance on that. Alright, so here we go on game number 2, and I made a shoe change. So I'm about to do something that I've never done on this channel, and that is this. Check this out. A shoe change. We went from the gold 3G shoes down to the Dexter camo. I don't even know what they're called. I don't know the name for them. I never officially gave my shoes names, but yeah, these are the camo-themed Dexters that I switched to, that I brought as backup, and I thank God that I did that. Otherwise, I would have had to deal with the 3G shoes and the horrible slide. And look at this. Check this out. I almost ate it. And I left the 9 pin. Now, the reason that happened was because, yeah, see, I checked the approach just to see, like, was that me or was that the approach? And it was me. You see, the thing is, when you just got used to a shoe that slides so much, and then you switch to a shoe that comes to a much quicker stop, you can expect for something like that to happen, and that's exactly what happened to me. So I had to get used to coming to that very quick stop again. So then that was playing with my mind, and that kind of affected my performance a little bit too, because the thought of that, like that quick stop and me, you know, totally losing it at the foul line, that really, really played a factor. All right, here we go on the right lane, second frame, hoping to God that I don't eat it again like I did before. A little better, but you couldn't really see it because her head got in the way, but you could see I'm like struggling to get used to it. Oh, that was a little better. So yeah, little by little, I'm getting used to the feeling of that H1 heel and that standard 8 slide sole again. Okay, here we go back on the left after a 9 spare and a 7 spare. Don't know what that was about, but man, that ball really went high and I left the 9. A lot of angle going into when it hit the pocket. So I definitely learned my lesson there. Never buy a brand new pair of shoes and break them in on your league night, because you will pay the consequences. So yeah, without a doubt, I'm definitely gonna, whenever I get the chance to do it, I'm gonna head back to the lanes and I'm gonna try that new rippled heel that I just added to those gold shoes, and hopefully it works a lot better. Oh, much better shot. I fought off a baby split there. So there I go, picking up that 9 spare. And how many of those have I had already? The 9 pin. All right, back on the left, and we made another ball change. We're using the Idol Pro now because I just can't find that look with the UFO alert. I just can't focus with it. I don't know what it was with me. But yeah, after that, like, okay, I was standing on 22 and a half with that UFO alert, and I saw that suddenly the friction increased quite quickly. I mean, I don't know what happened, but yeah, suddenly the bowling ball started hooking a lot more. I noticed it from the opponents. I noticed it from that UFO alert, and I thought, okay, what if I pick up this Idol Pro and stand in that exact same spot that I was lining up with the UFO alert, 22 and a half. And then that happened, and I thought, okay, maybe this is going to be our new game plan now. Believe me when I tell you, I hated the fact that I was changing bowling balls so much. You know, I'm trying to refrain from doing that so much and trying to just like adjust with what I have. But when you can't find the look up here, like when you can't use, oh yeah, there I went falling off balance, but I got the strike. But yeah, when you just can't execute the shot with that ball that you have, and you know, you're just struggling to find the look, you can't read the ball reaction, and you know, that was me, and I felt like a change was the better option. Yeah, mentally I just couldn't get into the right place with that UFO alert. So I felt maybe we should just pick up this Idol Pro as the safer choice. Yeah, fell off balance yet again. There's me thinking like, what is going on? And I struck again, but 3-bagger, but still, I really was like not happy with how I kept falling off balance. All right, back on the right after a 3-bagger, trying to get 4. That was a pretty good one, but I got it to the right too early. Just a little too early, and as a result, 3, 6, 9, 10. So I lined up on 39 for this, and I put as much power as I could on it. And luckily the ball didn't hook too much to where like I would probably chop or something like that. It took it all out, so I'm still clean. And you know something? I kind of felt bad for this guy, because take a look. 7-10, and yeah, you see that? He holds up his hand. Dude, that is like the second time tonight. I think he got like 3 or 4 of those on this night, so very unfortunate for him. And just to add more salt to the wound for him, I fell off balance. 7-10, 7 goes, and so does the 10. Ouch. Okay, so I believe we have made our way to the 10th frame. Pretty good shot. Seemed a little too, yeah, I don't think I knew it at that moment there. I thought for some reason that maybe the lanes were like drying up a little, but from here I can see now that I got it to the right too early again. So that was obviously becoming a problem for me on this night, is that I was getting to the right too early. It's not the best way to pick up the 3-6-10, but luckily I didn't chop or anything like that, and I didn't leave the 10 either. All right, last shot in the 10th. Fell off balance, but I could see that my timing was off between my footwork and my swing. Luckily, I got it, and I closed it out with the 211. So we're back on track, but I'm still not happy with my form. And that's my fault for switching in between shoes. So yeah, the whole sliding issue was really weighing heavily on my mind, and it was affecting my balance at the foul line. It didn't really affect my shots, luckily, because I made away with the 211. So here we go, continuing with the Idol Pro. Game 3, right lane. Dropped it to the right too early, through the nose, and that wasn't Brooklyn, that was through the nose, and somehow they all fell down. All right, back on the left. Kind of leaned into that one too much, and that's why I ended up with that really ugly finish at the foul line. But that one went high, and luckily I got it. But I kept that in mind. Like, the speed seemed okay based on what I saw at the monitor when I looked up. But I felt like maybe an adjustment needed to be made, but I wasn't 100% sure. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention was in the 10th frame of that second game, I made an adjustment based off of what I saw when I got that 9 spare. So I made the adjustment from 21.5 to like 23.5. So that, and then I struck. So then I realized, okay, that's what I got to do on this right lane. So 23.5 is where I lined up to the right too early, and I got lucky that it held. But yeah, I knew, okay, I made the right adjustment. And then on the left lane, I continued with the same, I continued taking the same game plan that I did. So I didn't make any moves on the left lane. I continued on what I believe was 22.5. So 22.5 on this left lane, 23.5 on the right lane. So yeah, I believe that the whole topography thing is definitely showing itself here today. The fact that I got to be on 23.5 on the right and only 22.5 on this left lane. Fell off on that again. Really not happy about it. Okay, so I do believe this might be for 5 in a row. I'm already losing track. A little better. To the right a little too early again. Like, I'm not getting it where I want to. I can see it. I didn't know it when I was throwing that ball down the lane, but looking back at this now, I see it. All right, here we are on the left. Not the best of form, but still striking, still keeping on. All right, back on the right. I think I'm trying to go for 7 here. Again, there I go to the right too early again. I swear to freaking gosh, man. But at the same time, I will say that somehow, like, that right lane decided to magically dry up a little bit more. So I knew I had to make another move to the left. So for that right lane, the next shot, I was no longer going to be able to stand on 23.5. All right, left lane after losing my strike streak. For the millionth time, I'm getting to the right too early. Yeah, and you see, I'm like, dude, what am I doing? Like, I'm getting it to the right too early. It's getting annoying. It's getting very annoying. But I will say that when I looked up at the monitor after the 8 spare, I thought I saw, like, I was already, I think, like in the 180s or something. And I thought to myself, okay, I could still put in a decent 200 game here and save my series, because after that 180 and that 211, I realized I really got to make up some ground for this third game, and I had made it up, so I was kind of feeling a little bit okay. All right, here we go on the right lane now. I think this is frame number 8. Sorry, no, frame number 9, and we leave the 610 again. Now this here is just embarrassing to watch. Take a look at this. Completely off the mark, and I lost a spare, which is like easy stuff. This is first grade stuff. I should have picked that up, but I missed it. But luckily, I was already well over the 200s, but a part of me was really peeved off that I missed an easy spare, and I lost my chance to go even higher than whatever I had, because now I realize I could only max out like somewhere in the 230s or something like that. Believe me when I tell you, I was never one to be able to do math in my head. I don't know how some people do it. That one wasn't too bad. And I was very lucky that that ball didn't hook anymore. Like, it looked like it should have, right? But it kind of stopped. So I got very lucky there that it went for a high pocket hit. I guarantee you, if I had something like maybe like the Idol in my hands, the OG pink Idol, that ball would have hooked way more than that Idol Pro. That Idol Pro is a step down from the Idol and the Idol Helios. Yeah. I suddenly kind of got like a weird cramp type of feeling in my leg. That's why I was grabbing at it. This is why I recommend right now to you guys, stretch before you begin bowling. Don't just get into it. You're going to suffer some cramps or something like that. You don't want to feel that. Yeah. See, I was mad. I was mad about that. You see, I was like, I almost tore my freaking compression sleeve off because I was like, I've had enough of the slipping and the sliding and the sticking. I'd had enough of it. I was sick of falling off balance at the foul line, and I was glad that that was the last shot because I was done with it. I mean, cool, yeah, I got 233, but still, the fact that I was just falling all night was really irritating. All right, so that wraps up week number 11. So even though I felt like I was terrible and I really did not like my own performance, it still, score-wise, turned out pretty great. Game 1, we started off slow with the 180. Game 2, we picked it back up and went to a 211, while Game 3, we closed out with a really good 233, and that made out for a pretty good 600 series. 624 compared to last week's series total. Quite the downgrade from my highest series to date, 753. It's not my highest series of all time, but it's in terms of like league sanctioned stuff, 753 is now my highest. The series required to raise my average was 627, so I missed it by a couple pins. That really sucked when I did the math and I put that together, and I saw that all I needed was a couple pins to raise my average plus one. But anyway, the pin total after week 11 now is 6,828 after 33 games played. And because of that, my average basically stays the same. That obviously, as you could see, last week's average was 206.8. It only went up 0.9, and that's it. So at least I managed to save my series after that, and I didn't lose my average, and it stayed the same. So I have a chance here to become the highest average in the league. I think right now I'm like the second or third highest average. So I only say I think because after week 11, I don't know how that's going to change. But before week 11 got started, I was the second highest average. And now after this, I don't know. I have to wait for the results and we'll see what happens. But anyway, highest game remains 288 from week 7, while the highest series is 753 from week 10. So, yeah, I learned my lesson. Don't try on new shoes for your for a night of league. Definitely put some practice into them. Wear them in before you know, try anything else. I should have done that, but you know, I got too eager. I really wanted to try the shoes out, and I ended up paying for it in the end. So, yeah, definitely don't do that. And I would say do not punch up a brand new bowling ball to use for your uh, to use for league. Probably put some games on it just to see what you're working with, and then you'll know if it's a good ball or not, if you can understand its motion and all that stuff. But you know, like I said, there have been some people out there. I've seen some Instagram posts where people, like for example, this one guy, he punched up a Black Widow Ghost Pearl, and his first games with it were his 3 games of league, and he ended up shooting a really high series, and I think one of them was a 300 game. So it is possible. I don't know how that people can do that, but you know, I sure as hell can't do that. I need to put some games on the ball and really have some solid practice sessions with it, like one-on-ones and stuff like that, to know if that bowling ball will work for me, if it's something that's good enough to stay in my arsenal. That's how I roll. I can't punch up a ball and then use it in league, or you know, like, or you know, punch up a ball and use it in a tournament, like you know, I've heard some people in the PBA and PWBA do, but yeah, that's not me. So anyway, that is week 11. Pretty decent, but I hated it personally because of all the slipping and sliding and falling. So yeah, we'll definitely get back to normal on week 12, and I'm definitely gonna try to practice with those gold shoes now that I've added that new heel on the bottom, and hopefully it all goes well. And if it doesn't, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. But anyway, I'm Frank the Tank. That was week 11. I'll see you guys on week number 12.